Let's hear from the coach. This is Behind the Beard with Bobby Smirniotis, Forge FC head coach and sporting director. Now, the woman who takes us there, here's Mackenzie Barwell on the Forge Audio Network.
Hey.
Are we really live?
Are we ever really live?
Yeah.
Last night, we were live.
Yes, that was live.
You get to talk to me twice this week.
Was it being recorded last night?
I don't think so.
No. Okay.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
So we can repeat yesterday?
Yeah, exactly. So, no, for those of you who don't know, we were at our season seat holder appreciation event at Moxie's. We did a little live episode of Behind the Beard.
Not bad.
It was more so like Q&A style, though,
Yeah.
because we had audience questions.
Good questions.
Yeah, they were
there were some
great
very good
questions.
questions.
And there are some things that I would like to follow up on based on your answers. Let's talk about this past weekend.
Yep.
After a 1-0 win against Valour, clinching the CPL Shield. What were your initial thoughts after that game?
Yeah, just happy that we were able to get that out of the way. You know, bring another trophy into the club, secure a Champions Cup spot, which is very important for us, and being able to do it, you know, at this point, I think was very good, and also commitment that the players made, you know, at the beginning of the year to make sure we're better throughout the season. Something that we've done each and every season except for the last one. You know, between that, our home record, and knowing what that really means to us, it's great to see. It's great to see with a few games to go, and now we move on to what's next.
You mentioned last night that you called, or Rama called you.
Yeah.
Didn't you have a conversation with him? Was that how did that
Well,
come
it
about?
was messages.
Oh,
It was
okay,
messages,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Obviously, with the time difference, sometimes it's hard to get in touch with different people. But
Yeah.
you know, he sent a message to congratulate the staff and the
Heck
guys
yeah.
on everything, and you know, we're just talking back and forth, just how he's doing and so on, and you know, from here or there, you know, some of the players that have played here in the past, you know, we keep in contact with, see how they're doing. You know, you're always trying to follow them because you know, we have our group here. There's been a group of players or players that have played here in the past, and their journey continues, and it's always nice to check in and see how everyone's doing.
I'm waiting for Rama to make another surprise appearance. Lastly, I feel like he just came randomly a couple games.
Nah, he wasn't. He showed up. He let me know he was showing up. The random one was on the same day. Woobens was here.
Oh yeah,
that's what it was.
That was a crazy day.
Yeah, so I just walk into the locker room and there's Woobens.
Oops. Hey.
All right,
Well,
get dressed.
Go. Yeah, let's go. Suit up. Okay, back to the game. I actually had a conversation with, speaking of former players, Emery Welshman earlier this week, and he testified to Winnipeg not being a fun place to play. Obviously, the field has changed since then, but he was just describing it as concrete and whatnot. But looking at this game, first half ends and you're up 1-0. I think you had 60% of the possession, most of the control of the game. So what was that conversation at halftime, and you know, knowing that you had to close it out?
Yeah, I think there's quite a few good things we were doing in that first half, and you know, we just wanted to make sure we kept at it. You know, focus on certain zones of the pitch. One that gives us a better chance to attack. We always talk about attacking first, and then on the second, you know, that gives us a better opportunity to defend and limit the counterattack. We saw that Valour was looking to play on the counter, trying to get us to play into the central zones of the pitch. They had some good players up top with a lot of speed that can take advantage of space. So we just wanted to make sure that we limit that and, you know, be comfortable at moments, you know, dropping deeper and being very congested in our defensive block, you know, to limit the space for them. So, you know, I think the guys did that very well in the second half. And then, you know, you go into the last 10 minutes and, you know, when you look at a game, you're like, oh, it's a 1-0 game in the season. But, you know, then those last 10 minutes in the back of everyone's head is, you know, we got 10 minutes to go till something. And, you know, that's where, you know, different things start occurring in the game. So you can have open space going one way. You may have some defending to do inside your box and maybe not be as clear sometimes in how you come out. And, you know, that was indicative of the last 10 minutes. But, you know, job done, you know, from the guys. Excellent work, you know, through different phases of the season. We've done some fantastic stuff. And, you know, we just got to keep on going. You know, nothing is done. We know that. We've won 4 championships by making sure that you're playing in the last game of the season. You know, that's what the league puts in front of us. So, you know, we got that in front of us. We got to stay sharp. We got to do the right things. We want to play some good football. We want to win games that we have still left on the schedule. for sure, and get ourselves prepared for the playoffs.
Yeah. Okay. I want to talk about those last two games, and we did a little bit last night as well. But another thing that Emery and I talked about yesterday was that Beck's and Noah combination. Obviously, that's where that goal came from. And he basically just said that's the Forge machine working at its best. And it was crucial that they did, especially given Cisse and Borges out of the lineup. Yeah. So what do you think that says in terms of the success of this group, especially in that game, about, you know, the depth of this team and having really anyone being able to step up into the circuit there?
Yeah, I think the great part of this team this year, and we take pride in this every year, and this year it's been fantastic, is there's always a next guy. You know, when one guy is out for an injury or maybe out with cards, that next guy just seems to come in, and we just keep on going. And whether that's being, you know, Borges doing it, and then Noah Jensen stepping in, and then Bekker coming out, and Borges back in for him. Daniel Para coming out, Malik being excellent at left back, apart from the games he's played excellent at central defender. Malcolm Duncan, Cisse.
We could go on and on, really.
And then, you know, couple of months ago, I don't even know when it was. You know, I'm not great with time, but you know, you lose your top striker in Kwasi Poku.
Right.
And since then, I believe we've lost one league game, and we've been scoring goals. So that's a testament to the guys stepping in and doing the business. So, you know, I always say it, with Forge, you never really talk about the players that are missing. You know, we go into match weeks, and this team is missing this guy, this one is missing this one. You know, we're missing possibly the most valuable player of the season in a guy like Tristan Borges, and you know, there's not much talk about it because the machine keeps on going, and you know, I think that's one thing we love to do, and yeah, we want all of our guys ready to go, and they will be ready to go within this next week. But I think that's been the strength of our season. Our goalkeepers. We've got two excellent goalkeepers who at different points of the season have taken care of business, whether it's you know, in performances, whether it's stepping in when another guy's gotten injured. So we've seen this all over the park this year.
Yeah. From a media standpoint, I feel like the storyline is always focused on which players are missing and what the team's going to do, especially you talk about Kwasi and kind of this narrative where, oh, is Forge going to panic? Like, who's going to score their goals? And then naturally, as you said, you only concede one regular season game in the CPL. But while we're on the subject of Kwasi, I do want to talk about him for just a sec because he got the senior national team call-up. Yep. So what was your reaction when you saw that?
Yeah, I think it's, to be honest, something that's expected. You know, while he was here, he was on their larger list of players while he was still a Forge player, because we get those letters from Canada Soccer. So we know it was imminent. You know, we know that they were tracking him and watching him. And you know, once he's made his move overseas and he started off positively there, scoring some goals, you know, it's only a matter of time. So it's great to see him there. You know, we want to keep on seeing stories like that of players moving from here to different places, different leagues, and being able to represent the national team. I think it's a fantastic story. If you see him where he was 3 years ago to where he is now, it's great.
Well, it was funny. He just posted something that, like his team in Belgium made a post about him, and they did a podcast on how he found out, and it sounds like he was like getting treatment, and he said, "Thank God he was on the table," because he just like froze, couldn't move. But anyways, congratulations, Kwasi. I'm going to that game on Tuesday, so should be good.
Enjoy.
We'll go back to the regular season now. I know I got a little bit off topic there. Some things that you mentioned in the post-game interview, and that was regarding the importance of these final games and knowing that they're not necessarily just training matches. Like, you have to stay focused. You have to stay sharp. So, again, I want to reiterate this question to you and ask the balance of acknowledging an accomplishment, but also knowing job's not done.
Yeah, you know, the word a training match, you know, that's for preseason. That's usually the first few games in preseason, because the other ones are very competitive in getting yourself going. So, you know, that definitely doesn't exist here. You know, we've got 2 games ahead of us. We want maximum points. You play games to win games. You play games at this point. You need to stay sharp. There's different things we need to balance within the squad. So that's what we'll look to do over these 2 games. But the competitive spirit will definitely be there, because you know, we've got players who are fresh. We can get minutes. We got guys who are playing, who have good rhythm, that you want to keep that rhythm. So there's a different levels of balance. Then you've got other situations with players maybe on the brink of cards and suspensions.
Right.
And you have to balance all of these. So that's all important, and that's something we've been doing every year.
Yeah.
When we get to this point of the season.
So in maintaining that competitive spirit, is there also, like, that element of needing to balance rest or getting players in to, gain confidence and comfortability coming back from injury, maybe?
Yeah, it's more of the injury prevention side, because too much rest isn't good.
True.
Right?
You'll be the first to say that.
There you go. There you go. Too much rest isn't the great. Too many days off isn't good. We got enough of those in the off season, and and it's tough. It's when I say it's more of the rest. More is from the mental side. To be a player at Forge, it's you've got a lot of pressure on you, and it's not so much external pressure from the fans or the media, but it's the pressure that we put on ourselves here. That each year needs to come with a trophy. Each year needs to come with a success, and that's not an easy thing to do as a player because, when you set a standard as a club, when you set something, then that's your expectation. So you can't just be happy with a few wins and everything is good. It's more about what's it going to look like at the end, and that's what we always talk about. It's it's a process. So whichever way it works, the process leads to something, and that's what the guys do a great job at. But with that, it's why you see this team win games and they don't over celebrate because they know there's something next. They know it's just part of something to get us to an end goal. We lose games, there's disappointed, but then again, we put it to the side because, again, it's about where we're going to get to. So I think, at this point, what the rest is more is on the mental side where the guys can exhale and say, okay, first job done, well done. Club's in Champions Cup. We've got 2 home games secured for the playoffs. We put everything in a good position for ourselves. So we get that out of it. Let's enjoy our football. Let's do the right things. Let's stay sharp until we get to the playoffs.
Okay. I think that was pretty evident in training this morning, too. Like, if anyone could just have a glimpse into what it looked like, it wasn't... You wouldn't really have guessed you just won the regular season title 2 days ago. And I mean that in just, like, in admiration, to be honest. Yeah.
I think... I'm not new to the players, and even those guys that are here for the first year, they understand that when we get on the pitch to work, we're going to work. There's going to be moments where we're going to enjoy ourselves and parts of the training, and we bring out the lighter aspects of the game. But we're match day -3.
Okay.
So we're rolling into the next one.
Well, let's look ahead to that Ottawa game. This matchup with them this season, I feel like has been weird because you played them away, I think, twice in a row, right, toward the beginning of the season. Yeah. Then the last time you played them was here, but that was August 10th.
August, yeah.
Yeah, so 3-0 for you guys. To refresh your memory, it was Borges with the brace, and then Cisse scored his first goal. Can you take what went well in that one to be successful this weekend, or do you think it's going to be way different this time around?
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be way different, but, we played a fantastic brand of football on our home pitch in front of our crowd. That gives us energy, and that's what it's been like most of the season. We're feeling good. We're moving the ball quick. We're decisive in how we make our decisions. We're spot on in our recovery, defending, and our counter pressing. I think that was one of our better games in all of these areas. Then that's what you're going to get at Tim Hortons Field. So, the recipe is there. The only thing that can counteract you in those situations is, chance and luck, and if they're not on your side. But we know that if we do the right things, usually we negate that side of the game.
Yeah.
So, that's what I want to see from the guys again this coming weekend. Stick to our principles, take the few points that we'll give in each phase of the game that we want to focus on. And, show that the desire to win, show the desire to get another win at home, which would leave us with a fantastic record here at Tim Hortons Field, which has already been great through all competitions in CPL and the Canadian Championship, and so on and so forth.
And it's fan appreciation.
Oh,
game.
There you go.
Yeah, so what better gift than a win at home? Exactly, right? Always telling you something new on the pod. Oh. Well, I think it's fair to say Forge, of course, are coming into this one with some momentum, but Ottawa are coming off a 1-0 loss to York, and that put them 2 points back from Calgary in third now. Yeah. And you talked about last night, too, that you like the setup, the new playoff structure. So with that in mind, how important or how hungry do you think Ottawa will be to make sure they get back into the second spot?
Yeah, I mean, I like it this year a lot. Because,
right.
We're already done, and everyone else is doing
Good luck, everyone.
What they're doing.
Yeah.
What I will say about, the playoffs, because it's changed for us, I think this is the first year where we're going into the second year of the same playoff format since the beginning.
Wow, actually?
Yeah, so...
That's weird.
Which I'm okay with whichever way you put it. Just let me know at the beginning. Right?
Tell me how it's going to work at the beginning of the season.
No, because...
Yeah.
then you know. We knew up until, let's be honest, up until last year, finishing first meant nothing.
Right.
Right. Last year, it came with a Champions Cup.
There's a reward.
Reward. You know, before that, you know, there was time periods you were playing in the season. You're trying to figure out, am I going to play first against fourth, second against third? Who do you really want to match up with?
Yeah, you have to be
things.
strategic about that, I guess, in that sense.
You're always going to be strategic in that. That's why I always say it's give me the path and I'll figure out the way to get there. It's what you need to do towards the tail end of the season. If number one really doesn't make a difference, are you resting guys? Are you doing certain things? Are you going to try and tinker and change things up in the team maybe for something you want to see in the playoffs? So you use those games that way. So there's different ways of looking at it. So that's why I always say it's been interesting because every year it's been different. This is the first time we have 2 years where it's the same format. And I think it's a good format. And we're seeing that this year where all 8 teams are playing for something and they may be playing for something up until the last game. You know, it depends on how the results go this weekend for some of the groups. But I think that's great for the fans. I think that's great for every market and the home games and driving out the crowd to the games. It's great for a broadcaster and everything that goes in behind it. So, you know, I think it's quite good. Again, a little bit of a bonus that we're the one team that's that's not involved in any of that right now.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. I guess prior to this, and if there wasn't an objective reward after first place, you're going to approach the matches way different.
Yeah. And every year we did that. You know, in 2019 we knew from August that we couldn't host the final, the second leg of the final at Tim Hortons Field, so finishing at the top really had no benefit to us. So we managed the last 4 games of the season with our roster. If you go back, you'll see a lot of guys missing in certain games, the guys not traveling in certain places. You know, in 2020 wasn't really a season.
Sorry, Louis.
Right. 2021, you know, we finished at the top. We didn't win the trophy. You know, what does finishing at the top mean? No trophy.
I feel like I need to go back on World Soccer and do all the research.
You look at all of this stuff. Yeah, so it's, you know, every year now it's a little bit more concrete and, you know, there's that extra thing. There's a trophy. Trophies are always nice because trophies are always going to look good here 10 years from now, 20 years from now. You know, they're going to be there. For us right now, it's not so much the trophy. I think the trophy goes along with as you build your history. But for us that are here, we want to be playing in Champions Cup. So here's one way do we do it. And now we set a different, another objective for ourselves, which has always been one. It's to get a maximum amount we can in the season. And, you know, you've got the playoffs to be able to do that.
That makes a lot of sense because I feel like you've talked a lot about trophies not necessarily being the motivating factor for the players. It's something like CONCACAF or
I mean, the players walk into their lounge and, you know, you see the trophies and that gives you the expectation, but it just can't be the only motivating factor because it's someday you can wake up and say, I've already done that. You know, what else? What's motivating me? You know, sometimes that's the pressures. I need to do that, but what motivates me? I need to get better at this. I want to play in that competition again. You know, there's different things that the way you want to look at it. There's 2 trophies up for grabs. We want to get both of them, right? And you know, we've had a focused group this year, and you know, that's the great thing too. You know, we've turned over some very good players from last year's team. You know, I think there's probably many people at the beginning of the year saying, you know, who's going to make up for some of these guys that we've lost, and you know, we haven't lost a beat. Gotten a little bit better, a little bit more consistent. So, you know, the staff has done a great job, coaches, management, how we've recruited, how we've scouted, and then the production of the players has been very good this year, and we just got to keep on going.
Well, I had a conversation with Orlandis this morning and Victor last week, so I can also testify to their podcasting ability that they're also good in that way.
There you go.
Okay, well, as I said before, fan appreciation. Before we wrap up, I want to just reminisce on a couple worthy fan moments. I remember I asked you this question last season. You talked about, well, I phrased it as crowd surfing, you crowd surfing in Ottawa. Whether or not that's actually what happened, maybe not. But in thinking about this season, even the CPL championship last year, are there any moments in particular that stand out to you in terms of fan interaction, fan engagement?
Here at Tim Hortons Field?
Yeah, it could be anywhere, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, we've had memorable nights here through CONCACAF games and qualifying for our first Champions League when we beat Santos de Guapiles here 3-0. to get into the semifinals of CONCACAF League, and that gave us qualification. I think that was a memorable night to share with our fans here. To last year's final, and winning the game in what was a fantastic game in overtime. That one. Yeah.
One of my favorite things that
there's been a lot of there's
I know.
the
I mean,
inaugural
it's a tough
game. There's the
question.
first year finals. There's our first game in Champions League. We've hosted the Canadian Championship here against Toronto FC. Didn't work out for us in that shootout. School day game this year.
Okay, school day game.
Right?
That's what I was gonna say.
18,000.
Insane.
Fantastic atmosphere. You don't know how it's going to be because you've got all these kids, but they were locked in.
Yeah, they were. They knew what was happening.
So, yeah, it's been great. You told me last week, and everyone reiterated it to me. It's as a club, we got our 100th win this weekend. So there's been a lot of excellent moments, and you just got to keep on going.
You got a Forge Fanatic mug.
Yeah.
You got what my personal favorite is, the massive poster, like huge, of just your face near the battalion.
Oh, yes.
You know that photo of you reaching up and just your face?
It's a good one. Reaching up? No.
Yeah, there is a picture.
Oh, there's one?
Yeah, there's
There's
a picture.
another one.
I've showed you. You were saying hello to someone, and, your face was bigger than your body on the thing. And one of my personal favorites that one of the fans did last year. I gotta find the photo. Hold on. And this is where you say, "Shouldn't you figure this out before?"
You just beat me to it.
Yeah. Somebody made this last year for the CPL final, and I got my hands on it. A cardboard cutout of
How
Coach
happy
Bobby's
does that guy look
face.
there, huh?
Yeah. He looks. Look at this. This is the fan who was holding it. Come on, so
Oh, fantastic.
cute. You think you could have got maybe a more smiley pic?
So my kids are used to looking at every morning.
Yeah. Well, at least
Like,
great morning.
Yeah.
I'll attach it on the YouTube for those of you who are on audio.
Fantastic.
It's just Bobby's face. He's looking a little.
What would you call that?
disappointed.
No, there's no disappointment.
That's just your resting face.
Yeah.
Do you know what an RBF is?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't know what that meant,
Really?
but I was thinking it in my head.
Okay. That surprises me. I'm happy that you just put that together.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you so much. Behind the Beard Season 2, Episode 23 in the books. Episode 24.
Well done.
Next week.
This has been Behind the Beard with Mackenzie Barwell and Bobby Smirniotis. If you like what you heard, please like, follow, subscribe, comment, and share.
I have my parking ticket in my in my notebook.
That's your bookmark?
I guess so. I paid this, just so you know.
Okay, I was just going to ask you, is that this one or the one you got previously?
Did I tell you about the one previous?
No, so there have been more than one. I just got you into that one.
Yeah, I just got exposed there. I didn't realize, but anyways.
See, Seba Costello will always tell you, don't answer his next question.
Really? Because does he tee you up like that?
I just teed you up.
Oh, fair enough. Anyways.